maybe instead of going crazy every time somebody does something and calling each other names and getting on social media and acting like crazy people, if we just did our best, despite the outcome, maybe our outcomes would be better. What up? What up? It's your boy Django. I am the host of The Django Show. I'm so excited to be here. It is episode 6, and I wanted to take today to talk about what I want to build. I want to build a community that changes the world. And I believe that the community can only start with you. You know, at the end of the day, I've had a really hard time just kind of starting this new year and figuring out how to premise this thing that I'm trying to do, and I want to do it the right way. And I spent a lot of time asking myself, what is it that you want most from life, Django? What is it you want to be able to do? And all I want is to move the ball forward. I have goals to help orphans and foster children. I have goals around building cities. I have all these different goals, but I also realize that nothing is going to be possible if I don't take the time to empower the people around me. And I have a chance to really help people see something through my own vision of life and what's happened to me to help them become the best versions of themselves. And to start things off, what I want you to understand is at one point in my life, I believed I was fat. I believed I could never get below 225. I believed that no matter what I did, I was going to be the same way. I always believed that, I wasn't that smart, that people saw something in me that I just can't really do it. I believed so many things about myself. And here's the thing. All of them were true. Just because what I've done today, let me rephrase that. Even though I've done a lot of great things with my life, what I believed about myself in those moments were true. And it was only because of the changes in how I believed I could operate and what I believed I could accomplish that I believed that wholeheartedly was the only reason that it no longer became true. So first today, I want to validate you in what it is that you believe about yourself. It's true, as long as you want to believe that is true. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you that 9 to 5s are wrong. I'm not going to tell you got to be an entrepreneur. I'm not going to tell you that you got to lose weight. I'm not going to tell you that you can be everything and anything and a superhero. I'm going to let you be exactly who you are. But now I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want to believe what you believe about yourself? Is this how you want to live your life? If it is, if you feel like you're doing your best, if you feel like there's nothing else that can be done, I'm going to let you ride. I'm going to let you do your thing, be great. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you continue to watch the show. I am wishing you the best. But if you're anything like me, I got to a point where when I started asking the question, I realized I wasn't being honest with myself. I realized that there was a possibility that maybe I could do more. And so, like I've talked about before, I set these small contracts with myself. I tried to be more honest. I tried to push myself a little bit further. And the things that I believed about myself, I started to shift those and started to believe that little things were possible. Well, I'm 260 right now. Maybe I could get to 240. Actually, you know what? I can't get to 240. And then it was like, oh, maybe I can get to 225. I can get to 210. I can get below 200. I can work out. I can be 10% body fat. I can quit my job. I can be the best I can be. I can be the best husband I can be. I can be anything I want to be. And I actually believe that about you. But it doesn't matter what I believe. It only matters what you believe about yourself. And that brings me to the point of where I thought some of the leaders were going to be adults in the room about what's going on right now. And if there's anything that's actually bringing me irritation, it's watching what's happening. I'm watching a lot of people validate their own feelings with other people who feel the same. But then saying that the other people who feel a certain way, they're wrong. They don't actually feel that way. I actually think that they're terrible people. I actually think that they're evil. I think that they're this. And they start attributing different things that they believe about them. You know, through doing a lot of research and reading, I've read more about the Stoics and things. And one of the things they said is no one does anything wrong on purpose. And you know this because when you look at your own life, how many times did you do something wrong on accident? And I think for almost everyone, you can say that in a lot of times in your life, you had the best intentions. You wanted to do the right thing. You thought you were doing the right thing. You thought you were headed in the right direction. And then you found out you were wrong. Maybe you had to apologize. Maybe nobody knew. But at the end of the day, I think there are very few of you out there who truly go out and want to hurt the people around you. I grew up in a household with 6 kids. I was the oldest. And oftentimes we found ourselves fighting. Somebody said something, they hit them, back and forth. And when my parents would come in the room, they'd be like, "Stop it." And both of us would always go, "Oh, they started it." And the response was always, "I don't care who started it. I'm finishing it. It's over. Let it be done. Apologize." And I don't understand how, as a whole, we miss this somehow. We miss this idea that you don't get to just mistreat people and do things that you don't believe are the right thing because you're angry, because you're irritated, because you're frustrated, because someone said something to you, because someone did something. If somebody punches you in the eye and then you punch them back in the eye, now you both have black eyes. Now what? You're just going to keep punching each other? You're going to punch each other until you die? Like, I don't understand what we think is going to happen if we maintain this process. And I can't make everyone do what I think is best. I can't get everyone to get on the same page. But here's the question that I can ask you. Are you doing your best? When you wake up in the morning, when you go out, when you do what you do every day, are you giving it everything you have? Are you giving 100%? Are you making choices that you believe are right no matter what someone else has done to you, no matter what someone else has said to you, no matter what the outcome might be? Are you giving your best? And here's a crazy idea. If we all, 300 plus million of us in the US, was it like 7 billion in the entire world, whatever the numbers are, if we were all just doing what we believed was best, helping when we could, giving when we could, doing everything that we could, how great could the world be? Sure, maybe your neighbor doesn't do the best they can do, but maybe when they see you do something despite the fact that they messed up, that might make them go, "You know what? That was wrong of me. I should apologize." Or, "I won't do that again." Or maybe they'll pass it forward. Maybe instead of when you see a shopping cart that's on the side of the road, instead of leaving your shopping cart on the side of the road because you're like, "Well, nobody else does it," you just put them both away. Maybe the next person will put theirs away. Maybe instead of going crazy every time somebody does something and calling each other names and getting on social media and acting like crazy people, if we just did our best, despite the outcome, maybe our outcomes would be better. And maybe we got here because we all keep waiting for the other person to apologize. I don't really care what's happened in the world. I don't really care, how people have treated me or what's happened or whatever. Anyone who I have hurt in the past, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have not always lived my life to the best of my ability. I'm sorry to anyone who I hurt. I'm sorry for not always being the best man I can be, for talking behind your back, for hurting you. I'm sorry. But I want you to know that I'm always going to give 100% from here on in. And if you feel the same way, take the time to apologize. Take the time to try to be the bigger person, and maybe take some time to try to understand how somebody else feels instead of name calling, instead of mistreating, instead of acting like you have no freaking sense. We're not children here. We're adults, and we're only making things worse. I just keep hearing people talk about how so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that, and when this person had power, they did this, and when they did that, and now that's why I'm acting the way that I'm acting. Why not just give your best? This is your life. I'm going to push you to do anything that you believe is possible. Anything that you think is possible for you, I'm with you 100% in the trenches. I will talk to you. I will take time. I will listen. We can do this together, but it starts with you. And today is a bit of a tangent. Today is a bit about just trying to be honest with ourselves. Because if we don't start this, if you and I right now don't start trying to be the best we can be, it's only going to get worse. And the worse it gets, eventually there's going to be nothing left. Someone has to say enough. Someone has to say, I don't care what it is that you're going to do. I'm still going to treat you to the best of my ability. I'm still going to listen. I'm still going to try to understand your point of view. I'm still going to do my best. Are you doing that? Are you taking the time to try to be the best version of yourself? Or are you taking the time to wait for someone else to do something so that then in response, maybe you'll do something? I don't know what the future holds. I know from all of my reading that, peace is, just one step away from war, that, at any moment we can tear each other's limbs off, that people will lose life, that all kinds of things can happen. But what I do know is that when people come together, especially a small group, and they just try to be the best possible versions of themselves, that they're able to change the world. And I want to change the world. And I know my reach is only as far as my hands can go, but maybe from people seeing me trying, me, being willing to be open, willing to apologize, willing to give everything that I have for the causes that I believe in, that maybe I can just help the next person make change. And maybe I won't see it in my lifetime. But I believe that we could change the world. Maybe it'll be somebody else that does it from something I said or something they heard or whatever. I don't care what it is. But it's only going to get worse until we get better, until you get better. So there's huge changes coming for the show. I'm gonna, put some links out there. Things are gonna be different. I'm gonna push this to the ends of the earth. I'm gonna give it everything I got, because it seems like nobody else who has some power wants to stand up and really be the first one to apologize. So again, I'm sorry if I hurt you, if I did something wrong, if I ever let you down. I'm sorry. But I promise, if you need me, I'll give it everything I got. And I hope the same for you. This is episode 6 of the Django Show. 2021 is going to be a great year. I know it. And as I always say, I believe in you. I love you. More life.